Let's talk about solar. Welcome back, investors. Today I want to talk about a stock that I've covered on the channel before, and if you follow the channel you've probably seen the previous videos. If you don't already know about Ascent Solar, it's worth checking out my other videos where we deep dive into a lot of what they do, what's been going on for years at Ascent, and changes in management. Basically everything that I felt was important information to highlight to anyone considering investing. Now, it's been over a month since my last Ascent video, and big things are just happening, causing movement in the share price. Ascent have just become pink current, so stick around. I think you're going to like what I have to say. So in today's video we're going to be looking at the latest annual financials that dropped on Friday morning, the very latest relevant press releases, progress that the company is making, and what I'm expecting to see next from Ascent before I give you my final conclusion. Before we get into the video, if you like the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you could smash that like button. Previous Ascent Solar videos have over 500 likes between them, and I really appreciate the support. It shows me that you want to see more videos on Ascent. So here we go. And best of all, it's 100% free to hit that like button. Can we get another 200 likes on this video? Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video with the potential to make you money. Leave a comment down below. I'm interested to hear what you think of the company and what are your price targets for the next year or 5 years. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and I have no affiliation with Ascent Solar. Now let's get into it. So who are Ascent Solar? I'm going to do just a 1-minute overview for anyone that's new. If you want a detailed view of the company, I strongly recommend checking out my previous video. Ascent Solar was formed in 2005 to commercialize their leading-edge SIGS technology on flexible plastic substrate. Their technology is recognized as the future of the solar industry. Ascent has cemented itself as a leader in the manufacturing of innovative, high-performance, flexible, thin-film solar panels for both existing and emerging defense, consumer, electronic, space, and aerospace applications. Ascent is the only manufacturer commercially producing SIGS solar on a plastic substrate with monolithic integration, a key differentiator that they say puts them ahead of other manufacturers. SIGS technology seamlessly integrates into the wings of unmanned aerial vehicles, on the sides of satellites, or carried in the packs of deployed soldiers so they can easily power their electronics on the go. From standard bare modules to the extreme SIGS technology, they offer customers custom solutions to meet any requirements. Their solar technology will not crack or shatter upon impact and continues to operate in cloudy or overcast conditions. Even if the panels get damaged, their technology allows for the flow of electricity around the damaged area. As well as their standard SIGS technology, they also offer a super light and extreme variant that has the high performance solar efficiency that they say no other thin film provider can match. Their mission is to design, develop, manufacture the ultimate solar technology and power solutions for remote locations and extreme environments, with the vision of delivering clear and innovative power solutions for everyone, everywhere. On Friday morning, Ascent Solar filed their 2020 10K. This is the first filing in a little over a month, but prior to that they had filed 3 10Qs in 5 weeks. I spoke in the last video about the CFO working hard to get things up to date, and to be fair, to get the 10K out so soon is quite an achievement. Remember, the quarterly reports are not audited, but the annual reports are. So a lot of work went into getting this done so fast, and I would expect to see the Q1 2020 report coming in the next 2 weeks. So looking at the balance sheet, we can see total assets of 7.3 million compared to 5.6 million of the previous year. This figure is also about 1 million lower than the September 30th report, and that is due to a decrease in this cash position of nearly 1 million. So the assets are made up of a cash figure of over 150,000, PPE is now 25 million, and an operating lease of 5.6 million. We will look at these in the notes to the accounts in a moment to explain all the figures, but firstly we look at the liabilities. We will see here a figure of 27.5, which is slightly down on 2019's figure of 30.1 and is slightly increased from the September figure of 24 million. However, something that is significant here is that in the last quarter, the liabilities were largely made up of current liabilities amounting to 18.6 million. There is now current liability that only amounts to 9.1 million, which is largely made up of this embedded derivative liability of 5.3 million. However, we previously had no long-term debt, whereas now we have promissory notes and convertible notes amounting to over 13 million. Then again, we see this operating lease appearing in the liabilities, 500,000 is current and 5.1 million long term. There's a very good reason for this, which we will look at in the notes in case you didn't see the previous video. Now, looking at the income statement, I won't discuss revenue or expenses here because it's very little and has been very little for a very long time. However, we do have a net profit here of 1.6 million for the year, and this comes from 1 million in changes to derivatives mentioned in the last video and other income amounting to 3 million. Now, this other income of 3 million ties in closely with the operating lease we mentioned a few moments ago. So now we'll look at the notes of the accounts to explain these. As I said already, this ties closely with the operating lease, because when they sold their facility, they now need to lease a new facility. So we can see here that the company entered into a lease agreement for approximately 100,000 square feet building for 88 months commencing September 2020. The company recorded an operating lease, asset and liability of $5.8 million. If anyone doesn't understand why an operating lease is recorded as both an asset and a liability, or how this type of transaction affects both the balance sheet and income statement, leave a comment down below. I will explain this type of transactions in the next video if you want. So what's next for Ascent Solar? I've seen a lot of rumours over the past few weeks about Ascent Solar doing a reverse split, and a lot of people seem to think this is going to happen soon. Firstly, I want to say that I believe 100% that Ascent will perform a reverse split, but not just yet, and my reasons are very simple. At the moment, the only reason to do a reverse split would be for the company to uplist on a recognised exchange. Ascent still have work to do before this becomes a possibility, so let's take a look at that now. Ascent have just become pink current since they got their 10k filed. However, the majority of the work they'll be doing in the next few weeks will be to make sure that they get their 10q filed in time so that they remain pink current. And only after that can they look at the possibility of uplisting. Then, after their financials are 100% up to date, I think they could potentially look to move up onto maybe the OTCQB or QX. I'm not sure they even meet the criteria, even after a reverse split, to uplist onto the Nasdaq or the NYSE. To uplist to the Nasdaq, they would have to perform a huge reverse split, and I think also they'd have to satisfy one of these 4 standard conditions, which currently, without revenue and a negative cash flow and not a whole lot of assets, I don't think they satisfy. If anyone wants to clarify this for me, leave a comment down below. I'm genuinely not 100% sure about this. Regarding revenue, in the last video we talked about Ascent being selected by NASA to participate in 2 upcoming flight demonstrations, the ASTI project and the Solar Cruiser Solar Sail project. There has been no new news that I'm aware of regarding these demonstrations, but as soon as we hear anything, I'll let you know. In very recent news, the Building Integrated Photovoltaics Technologies and Global Markets 2020 to 2025 report has been added to the researchmarkets.com offering. This is a report that provides an overview of the global market for BIPV and analyses market trends. The report has several chapters relating to technology and markets, and Ascent Solar are one of the companies included in the report. Any good news at this point is very welcome for Ascent and should increase their profile on a global scale. In other recent news, Ascent have announced the company could receive significant support funding as part of the Coronavirus Response and Relief Act. The Biden administration is committed to spending $128 million on technologies, including solar cells, and that holds exciting potential for the future. Ascent is collaborating with NREL to produce SIGs that could be used in a wide variety of applications. Ascent Solar has been working closely with Congressman Ed Perlmutter's office to reinforce the benefit that domestic green energy companies such as Ascent are able to provide. Historically, the Department of Energy has funded approximately $300 million annually for R&D works relating to solar energy. We are honoured that the extraordinary effort Ascent and Congressman Perlmutter's office have recently undertaken has been validated through the inclusion of language in the historic legislation. So much of the focus in solar R&D has in the past gone to the SCI technologies, the production of which predominantly occurs offshore and leaving the US confronted with multiple risks. This is according to Joe Kigan, CRO and SVP of Government Relations for Ascent. With the legislative progress, we will be more positioned to work with NASA, the Department of Defense, and Homeland Security, and with many commercial companies that support these agencies to achieve enhanced operational efficiency and resilience to support the critical missions that will lead to the next great era of American technological achievement. This will help support the research, development, and demonstration of cutting-edge solar technologies, as well as support local Colorado business and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado. These technologies will help improve the efficiency, reliability, and affordability of advanced energy systems across the country and help secure a cleaner energy future for our country. To be honest, I think this is pretty big news for Ascent. So looking here over the past 6 months at Ascent Solar, we can see the share price was around 0.001 up until December, when it started to move upwards and reached as high as 0.09 back in February. Since then, the stock has been on a steep decline that has been similar to many penny stocks, growth stocks, and solar stocks. We can see here, looking at the past 2 months, that we've been consistently in this downward channel, hitting these lines of support and resistance on numerous occasions, whilst also finding a base support level at around 2 cents, which the stock has bounced off several times. Then, as we can see here, as indicated with the purple line, the formation of a descending wedge, which is usually the indication of a breakout movement that coincides perfectly with the breakout movement that we experienced on Friday. We can also see another descending wedge forming here, which could indicate another breakout movement sometime next week. This could coincide with the release of the company's 2021 Q1 report, which would definitely impact the share price. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop it a like if you did. It really helps the video get out to more people. If you've watched all the way through, then fair play. I hope I've shared some information with you that you weren't already aware of, and I hope you found value in this video. There's a lot of YouTubers doing these types of videos, but very few actually look into the financials and try to explain. So I hope you appreciate that I'm trying to bring you useful information so that you can make informed decisions regarding stocks. Now, in my opinion, getting the 10K filed is absolutely huge for Ascent Solar. It means that they now have pink current status, and for the moment at least all the filings are up to date. But they will be due to file their 2021 Q1 report very shortly. And this will provide a major catalyst to see the share price rise again. We've already seen a 15% share price increase on Friday following the 10K release, and I would expect something similar from the filing of the 10Q. With many penny stocks, positive PR will impact the stock significantly, and we are waiting to hear about the Ascent Solar's collaboration with NASA on the Solar Cruiser solar sail and the Lisa T projects. I'll keep you updated as soon as I hear anything about these. So hit that subscribe button and bell notification to receive notifications of my new videos. What are your price targets for Ascent? Do you agree or disagree with anything that I've said? Leave a comment down below. I want to hear some opinions. As always guys, this is just my opinion, and if anyone is looking to buy into the stock, I encourage you to do your own research. As I said before, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you in the next one.